Hello, welcome to PAXTON Road TV. I'm Sam Spurs for Life, and this is your PAXTON Road TV preview show for the game. Kicks off tomorrow, 5:30, Tottenham Hotspur versus Leicester City at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I want to call it White Hart Lane, but it's not White Hart Lane. It's the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. In the house, as always. And you can hear them tutting in the background. Listen to them already. Here we go. I don't know which one was tight. It's probably both of them. We've got SUBSRCRIBE and we've got Sean Hurl from PAXTON Road TV. Welcome, gentlemen. How we doing? All good, I hope.
Yes, Premiership football is back for
some of it's back. Not all of it. Some of it.
Majority. Well, not majority. Half of it today and tomorrow and Sunday, and then make the most of it until it disappears again.
Yeah, well, we have to try and make the most of it if we can, because there's something at stake potentially for us if we can win tomorrow. Sean, welcome. How you doing?
I'm all right. It was me tutting away. Yeah, it'll always be White Hart Lane for people of my generation. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can stick any multinational scum organisation on it. It will always be White Hart Lane. Hi, David.
It will always be. David, good luck this weekend. Good luck in your household this weekend. Because
as he ordered his caravan for the garden.
I hope when them lot are drowning their sorrows that you get to like bask in the glory, sipping that whatever you're going to be sipping. Anyway, welcome, Kevin. Evening to that. Huh? What are you saying?
Do you know what I was saying today? This is for David. David, if Leicester win the first half and Spurs win the second half and win the game, that's good enough, isn't it?
Not quite sure. That wouldn't work in my household, tell you that much. Certainly wouldn't work in mine. So I'm not sure it's going to work in yours, David. Anyway, we have also got GCM James 77. Roberto Mancini is the man for us. Ooh. Is he talking about Leicester or is he talking about Spurs? James, reveal yourself. Are you a Spurs fan or are you a Leicester fan saying that Brendan Rodgers could get sacked and then Roberto Mancini is the man to take over? I don't know. But I'm not sure Roberto is the man for us at this present time. I think we've got enough to deal with one Italian rather than two. Do you not think, gentlemen, we've got enough on our hands to deal with one Italian? Speaking of Italians, I'll come to you first, Mr. Hell. What did you make of the press conference? Interesting words were said. Nothing that we probably not expected from Conte, very honest.
Yeah, I mean, we expect nothing less from Conte. He knows what in his own mind what he wants from his players. As Tuesday has faded from my memory, I just keep thinking he sees them every day. He knows what he wants. And, as much as we might want a replacement at right wing back or we might want an attacking midfielder, he's the man. He's the man who's paid the big bucks to pick the team. And, I've now got to the point where I'm just going to assess him based on results at the end of the season, and let's hope he gets it to the end of the season and he's still here next year,
Yeah, I hope he is. It was interesting, some of the words. I was particularly interested in about what he was saying about Basuma. I was having a bit of a back and forth with one of my mates today on WhatsApp, trying to wind me up more than anything. But the bottom line is Conte's actually said, he doesn't think of all the players, Basuma struggling tactically. Then he went on to say that he's a very good player, blah, blah, blah. He said really integrated well and all the rest of it, but he kind of used that initially. Now, I kind of took it in one way. Oh, that's a bit of a smack in the face to the player. Then I kind of thought, well, maybe is it a bit of a, can we see what we can get out of him? Is it a slap to say, right, can you get the positives out of him? Or could it go the other way and we end up with another end on Bele on our hands? Sid, what was your thoughts when you heard some of the comments from him? Again, going back to Emerson, if we want to look at Emerson as a separate subject. Yeah, Emerson's been in the team and he was singing his praises, although a lot of us, me included, haven't really been singing Emerson's praises. I can understand the guy has been in the team, haven't lost in an X amount of time, apart from obviously the game against Sporting. What were your thoughts on those two things? Emerson and obviously Basuma's comments.
Do funny thing, you going on about singing, yeah? You know what's coming now, don't you? You know what You know what he had in his mind? Yeah? This is what Conte was saying to the players. If you want to be my player, you got to get with my tactics. Make it last forever. Friendship never ends. If you want to be my player, you have got to give. Taking it is too easy. That's not the way it is. That's what he was thinking about the Spice Girls when he was on about the players. Because he's like, I think what Sean said, Emerson's played every single game this season. Doherty's been on the bench, but he likes to put players that are not fully fit on the bench. Spence's been on the bench from day one, not his player. So he's trusted Royal all the way, and he must see something in him. And even the other day, he said he didn't have the best of games, but I ain't going to drop him. So that says it all. And then Bissouma, I completely miffed me. He's not getting on with my tactics at the moment. However, he will. We're 7 games into the season, or 9 games into the season. He should have got into his tactics by now, because obviously under Potter, unless he's playing a completely different system, completely different tactics, and he's been given a completely different role to what he was doing at Brighton, I don't know. But there's a lot of mysteries at Spurs with Conte at the moment. But hey, he's, like Sean said, he's our gaffer. He's the man in charge. He sees them every day. He knows what's best for the club.
He does. He sees them every day, and this is the point. So you've got to kind of go with that. But in terms of the tactics thing, Conte mentioned it in his press conference. He said the midfield too, tactically, probably the hardest positions that you've got to be able to work with in terms of defending and attacking. But what was a strange comment was he said, from an attacking perspective, he said Bissouma's great. He said defending him needs more work on. I also assumed that, not that I thought he was only that, but my assumption was that he was more of a defensive midfielder. That's what a lot of the teams, Arsenal was looking at him as being more of a defensive midfielder. I thought his defending was pretty good in terms of getting back and cleaning up. So I'm not quite sure. So this is what I'm saying about Conte. He's a little bit mysterious. Again, is it to do with more a case of more mental side of things? Is he going to try and get in players' heads? We know that he's got the ability to do that. He does that with the fans, let alone, the players. The meltdown at Burnley comes to mind. But I'm just kind of concerned that, we've got these players. He said nobody's undroppable, but then he says Emerson isn't. Doesn't make sense again. So I'm just confused. Is he just confusing everybody, Sean? Is this just a moment of confusion, or is there a method to Conte's madness, which I'm not saying he's mad, but there's certainly some head-scratching moments at the moment?
Well, I think to answer something Sidbert said there, he did play a different role at Brighton. Brighton had a totally different formation to us. So, it may be that I seem to remember him as an attacking force at Brighton. So I could understand why Conte would sing his praises in the final third. But he doesn't have as many players around him. It's part of a 2 in a central pivot. And maybe he is struggling a little bit with the defensive side of the game. I'm not saying that he can't pick that up, but it's difficult. I mean, he struggled against West Ham. The only time we've really seen him, and he got himself stupidly booked after 20 minutes, which showed a bit of a lack of maturity, to be fair, because he got it for a petulant throwing of the ball into the ground. Yeah. So I want Bissouma. For me, I would love to see Bissouma and Bentancur as our central pairing. But, we've got a mad season coming up. I think Conte is expecting a lot of our players to get a bit of game practice with their internationals when they go away after this weekend. And it might be interesting to see when October comes on top with, was it 12 to 13 games in a month?
Yeah.
That you'll start to see these players being bedded into the team.
They have to be, though. Surely. You know what I mean? We didn't go and have 7 transfer players players bought in the transfer window. I know a number of them are not playing, and a couple of them we're probably not going to see play a lot of. Papi Sarr kind of comes to mind. I don't think we're going to see a lot of him unless Conte decides to really play a team that's of less what's the word I'm looking for, experience in something like the Carabao Cup. I don't know. The way he's playing, the way it's looking is like, if you play well, you stay in the team, and I'm going to keep you in the team unless you red line. But then, I know, what did he drop Longley for to bring Ben Davies back in the Lisbon game? Again, I thought Longley was doing pretty well in that position, and I wanted to see more of him from a passing perspective so we could keep the ball. So there are questions, not question marks about Conte, question marks about what I think we want. And what I'm saying about, I want to see rotation now in the team, because we bought the players for this reason, to be able to rest Højbjerg. He had a bit of a stinker on on was it Wednesday, Tuesday when he played.
That's an understatement, Sam. That's an understatement.
I'm trying to be kind here. There was a lot of players that had stinkers, but I didn't see any changes. I didn't see anything until too late again. So, Sid, are you expecting a lot of changes this game, or are you expecting, because it's the international break, that Conte is going to go with tried and trusted and pretty much what we've seen so far this season?
Tried and tested, mate. He's not going to change it up. He's not going to change it up. He's going to keep going with what he believes in, what he trusts. And it's trust the process, trust the system. You know, we're all crying for Kulu to start tomorrow. We were crying for him to start on Tuesday as well. But he's stuck with Son. He's stuck with Son. So it's just a matter of, if Kulu does come in, he's probably might come in for Richarlison. Because the way it's looking, Kane and Son are undroppable, even though they both have stinkers on Tuesday. You know, so I think somebody said yesterday or today, why don't we just change it up and put Richarlison up top with Kulu on one side and I think they said Perisic on the left and just mix it up. But Conte's not going to do it.
Never going to happen.
No.
Kane's never getting dropped. I don't see Kane getting dropped. And
to be fair, should Kane be dropped based on his Premier League form? He scored 5 goals for us.
Not based on this. And this is what the argument I had with somebody else earlier. I think in terms of goals, you can't take him out. You can't take him out, no matter how he plays. But if you then think about how we play the game, we play through Kane. Teams have worked that out. Do you know what I mean? Teams have worked out. You flood that midfield very hard. We have to play a different way. And if the other parts of the jigsaw are not functioning, as in them wide areas, particularly on that right-hand side where we can attack down. Perisic on the left, not so much. But Son's not having a great time of it. We've had to bring Richarlison. Kulu's on the bench. I think Kulu should start. I think the front three, if I'm honest with you, Richarlison on the left, Kane down the middle, Kulu on the right. Son should get a rest, not to be dropped for a number of games, but just a quick, come on, son. You know what I mean? Nobody in this team is undroppable. But this is not the right message that I'm seeing, hearing and seeing what we're seeing. It's
also the last game before the international break, so is he going to drop him? I don't think he will, because it's the last game before the international break, and he'll probably say, you know what, this is your last chance saloon. If you don't have a stinker today, then you've got 2 weeks to go and sit it out and work it out and work on your fitness, work on whatever you need to do, and then you go again. So I personally don't think he's going to drop him.
Henry raises a good point there in that comment, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's a good point, because there are strange contracts. It's not strange contracts in football. There are appearance contracts, and they're all appearance bonuses and all the rest of it. Now, we don't know what's in this contract that's been negotiated with Son, but I would find it very difficult to think that any manager would be happy to have a player on a contract where if they're fit, they have to play. To me, that doesn't sound like Conte would just be like, oh, yeah, that's fine. But again, behind doors, I don't know.
Contracts are funny at Tottenham. I mean, I seem to remember that Darren Anderton, back in the day, had a contract that he would be the highest paid footballer at Tottenham. And he had been injured for a long time and hadn't played. And we signed someone, I can't remember who that soul was, who was getting paid more. And Anderton, with brass neck, went into Levy and said, I think you remember what happens when someone's getting paid more than me.
Oh, wow.
So you just, that's the story anyway. That's the story. I'm not. I don't want to diss Darren Anderton, but that is the story.
I hope that's not the case. Right then, I guess we better talk about tomorrow's game then. Let's do this then. Let's get on. Let me share the screen. This is what we're going to do as per usual, gentlemen. Let's get the whole screen. Leicester, Tottenham versus Leicester, should I say, preview show. And we have the table. So at the top is them lot still. Obviously, no games have been played. We're neatly in third place. I'd say neatly. Unbeaten this season. Off the back of a victory in last time out, but obviously a loss against Sporting. We can go top tomorrow. We can go top. Let's see what the games are. Let's see what we're playing. So tonight's games, Aston Villa versus Southampton kicks off at 8 p.m. Nottingham Forest also kicks off at 8 p.m. versus Fulham at the City Ground. Then tomorrow, Wolves versus Manchester City. They early kick off. Newcastle versus Bournemouth. Then the evening kick off, Spurs versus Leicester. The most important game of the weekend. Sunday, we get into Brentford versus Arsenal. That'll be tasty. 12 o'clock kickoff. And Everton versus West Ham. What do we think of the fixtures? We could be top. No City playing. Oh, yes, they are. They're playing Wolves. So we could be top for very no, it might not be top, probably because City will probably win that game. So yeah, it's unlikely that we are, but putting the pressure on, keeping that same goal difference, we might be able to go top. Who knows? And that was a bit high. I'm thinking a bit too far ahead. Maybe we are probably likely to be top tomorrow, but
Sam is in pre-season mode again. But we're going to win the league and we're going to win the Champions League. Yeah.
What I will say is, I'll come to you first, Sean. We should be winning tomorrow's match, though, shouldn't we?
Without a doubt. I mean, Leicester are a basket case at the moment. Even the manager seems to be trying to do his best to get the sack. They can't, I mean, they've got some great threat in the forwards, but their defense is a nightmare at the moment. We need to start on the front foot. If we go ahead, as I'm expecting us to do, I expect us to win quite comfortably.
Sid, looking at these fixtures, as I said, I think City will probably do that. And if we're looking at the ones closest to us, Arsenal, what do you think of that? Brentford versus Arsenal. I thought it was at the Emirates, to be honest. I didn't realise it was away. It's even more tasty than I first thought. Do you expect the other two main rivals, being City and Arsenal, to go and pick up them points tomorrow and Sunday?
City at Wolves. Wolves are one of them. They're a funny team, aren't they? They're a very funny team. Bruno Lage, he's got them drilled, and they've bought a couple of
best defensive record in the league at the moment.
That's what I'm saying. So
goals conceded, they just can't score.
They can't score, and it just depends on what Wolves turns up, and it also depends on what City turns up. And I can see Wolves giving them a good game, but I think City will take the points. And the other one I'm looking forward to is Brentford Arsenal, because you've got the manager of the month versus the player of the month and the man who's just been called up for England. So, and he's been on their hit list, hasn't he, for quite a while, Tony? So that's going to be a very interesting game.
Well, he's been hitching up his skirt at them as well, too. So let's be fair. There's no way Ivan Toney's coming to Spurs.
No, he's not. He's not coming Spurs. But I'll be saying now, if there was talk about Arsenal going in from next season, do you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, if they were to have him, Jesus there, that's not a bad front line, because the way they play one of them. I wouldn't.
Yeah, they might stand a chance in the Conference League.
We're getting on troll mode. I was on troll mode earlier, but I'm going to come off that troll mode. Anyway, let's get on to this. Form guide, last 5 matches for both teams. Let's do Spurs first. So, as you can see, Spurs, 3 wins, 2 draws. Last time out, beat Fulham 2-1. 1-1 draw with West Ham before that. 2-0 against Forest, 1-0 against Wolves, 2-2 against Chelsea. Unbeaten start. As you can see on that right-hand side, Leicester, they haven't picked up anything apart from a point in that first game of the season, because we don't even show it because these are the last 5 games. A 5-2 loss away to Brighton, 1-0 at home. They lost to Man United, 2-1 away to Chelsea, 2-1 at home, a loss again to Southampton, and 4-2 away to Arsenal. Is this a case of Dr. Tottenham? Welcome.
Yes. It's written in the stars. It's written in the stars.
Sporting Lisbon had not beaten an English team at home ever until Tuesday.
Listen, if you go through the records, how many times have somebody not scored, somebody not won, somebody not eaten or anything until they've come to Spurs and they've fully fed themselves and left with everything? So it's not, Sean, I know you're very confident about the game. I don't think it's going to be as easy as you think it's going to be, because
I am. I am
too.
I'm not going to have it. Come on.
Yeah, I'm with you, Sean. I'm with you.
I can't have it. Our attack. Our attack.
This comment here from Kuva, big up Sam, Sid and Sean. I'm actually ecstatic about the prospect of bouncing back against a terrible Foxes side and giving them a mighty hiding 1-1. And that's Spurs. That is Spurs in a bloody nutshell.
Kuva, you are so Spurs.
You're
not old enough to know when people beat these teams.
But do you know what? He's probably going to be right,
You know what? It can't be right. It best not be.
No way.
Oh, Jesus.
Kuva, I'll unfollow you if you got that prediction right.
Loving the positivity from Mark P. Loving us, the positivity. Well, Sid's not as positive as me and Sean, but we're trying to get in there. We're going to get him there. Don't worry about that, Mark. Stuart Such is saying, with the Gooners away next, winning tomorrow is a must. Next game up is the Gooners away. I watched a bit of AFTV. They're all kind of like, well, at home we've got a good record against Spurs, so I think they're almost like taking it as a done deal. I think we should wait till after this weekend's fixtures before we start talking about that, Arsenal fans.
There's only one winner that weekend, and it's the train strike. So
because it might not be on.
Victory to the RMT.
Yeah.
I'm with Mick Lynch and Eddie Dempsey that weekend. Yeah.
Less politics, lads. Less politics. More football. Form guide. Last 5. Oh, I did this already. What we're talking about. This is what I wanted to get onto next. Season comparison. Position we're in third. They're in 20th place. Bottom of the league. No wins so far this season. We've won 4, drawn 2. They have only got a draw. Average goals scored per match. We've got 2. They've got 1.33. Average goals conceded. Now look at that. We're less than 1. They're approaching 3. No clean sheets for them. 2 to us. Chances created per match, though, same 1.33 for both teams. Our biggest win, 4-1. Obviously, they don't have a biggest win, but their biggest defeat is 5-2. And we haven't lost in the league so far this season. Recent meetings. 3-1 last time out against them, but that was the end of the season. We knew we did well that part. We was all right. But before that, 2-3 to Leicester. Sorry, 2-3 to us away to Leicester.
The Stephen Bergwijn night.
That one. How can we forget? Jumping all over the city that night.
God.
A 2-4 to them as well. But then going back to December 2020, the last time we played them at home before the 3-1 last season, we lost 2-0. And then back in July 2020, 3-0 to Spurs. So record, pretty good. Does that mean too much to you guys? I think the biggest thing for me is the fact that they ain't won a game. I watched Brendan Rodgers in his press conference yesterday, and he looks a bit, his eyes were a bit all over the place. Usually he's pretty much bang on. He's looking at people, but he's a bit shifty. He's under pressure. You can see that. But what he was trying to say was they're going to come out. They can't be scared. They're going to be aggressive. Do you see, Sid, Leicester being aggressive on the front foot coming at us? I'm looking at this game as being a cagey one. They're going to want to let us have possession. We're probably going to want to have them possession. Let them have possession, should I say. And it's a counter-attack. Whoever breaks best is probably going to win. What do you see Leicester doing in terms of a way of playing tomorrow?
I see them praying. And I see Brendan Rodgers praying because he's probably thinking, oh, well, after today, I'm gone. 2-week break. I'll be on leave now as well because there's no games for 2 weeks and I won't have a job. So I can quickly put in my tenure for the Brighton job. And hopefully by the time it finishes, I'll be a Brighton manager. But no, I think... do you know what? They've got players. They've got good players. Yeah. They've got Barnes. They've got Maddison, Vardy, Tielemans. They've got good players. Unfortunately, like you said, because if you look at their chances created, 1.33, and we've got Kane, Son, Kulusevski, Richarlison. So they're on par with us on that one, where they're absolutely getting hammered is at the back. Their defense looks shocked, and it just looks shot to bits. And if our front 3-4 fire tomorrow, then it's like what you're saying, Sean. It could end up a rout, you know. But we're not used to routing teams. That's the problem. We tend to take our foot off the pedal, you know. So
Newcastle, Aston Villa, Southampton,
4-1, yeah. But
we're not used to routing them. We scored lots of goals.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, we 5, 6, 7. You know what I mean? The step song 5.
You want steady on. You want 7
Even
goals?
I'm not going 7.
No, what I'm saying is
just 6.
When we've been on top of teams and we've absolutely battered them, we're sort of reluctant and we're sort of happy with 3 or 4. We don't, you know what I mean? We put the lid on the coffee, but we're not hammering it in. If you know what I mean.
We're not screwing it down. Yeah.
He wants nails, then he wants screwdriver.
Do we want a 4-mile queue as well?
No, that's 12-hour wait, mate. I'm not having that.
Well, there's 12 hours to the game, isn't it? No, anyway.
Listen, if everybody can do it, you know what? We can all do it. But no, do you know what? Like I said, this form doesn't mean anything to me because, like you said, we've had teams coming to us, not won a game, not whatever. They'll be tanked up. They'll be tanked up tomorrow, and we've just got to lamb to the slaughter, basically, or foxes to the slaughter.
I'm thinking I'm thinking post-Lisbon. Post-Lisbon.
Well, our record, this is the head-to-head, Sean.
Yeah.
32 played, 15 wins to us, 12 to them. We've won 8 at home, they've won 7 at home. They're away, we've won 7, they've won 5 away, 5 draws in that. Yeah, so it's in the Premier League, it is Premier League. So it's pretty close record. There's not too much in it. I guess we're looking at it being the old Leicester, but Leicester have won more titles than us in the Premier League, so we can't really say much to that. And this shows that, you know, it's going to be a closer game than maybe some think. But I'm with you on this one. I'm thinking we have to tonk somebody. And I think after that game against Lisbon, what people are saying in the press, everybody's like, the fans are up in arms about certain things about Conte. Questions are being asked in the press. Is he going back to Juventus? I think we need to make a statement out here. So I'm looking for a win. Let's do this then. Before I get into that, let's come back off here. Who's your ones to watch? Sid, who's your ones to watch from both teams? One name each.
I don't even know who's fit for them tomorrow. But for me, Ashley Barnes is always a handful. But I think, you're going to laugh at this one, but I think there's going to be a man on a mission tomorrow. And it's going to be James Maddison.
Interesting.
I think he's going to have a blinder tomorrow. Because, you know, all this talk of coming to Spurs from Norwich and then coming from Leicester, blah, blah, blah. And I think he's going to be their key man tomorrow. Whether the rest of them around him, I don't think so. But for us tomorrow, I think Harry Kane, because he's got a wicked record against them, hasn't he? Is it 17 in 14 games or something? So, Kane.
David Clark was adding 10 years onto his age. He said he was 78, and then he just said, no, sorry, he's 68. Well, my days.
That's what Spurs did to you.
That's what comes when you buy a caravan.
Wow. Spurs really has a problem to some of us. Coming from Leicester and knowing what's happened, if you think you know you're going to Tottenham, you're deluded. Kevin Murray saying 3-1, and so we're getting some inside information with Mr. Clark out here. Sean, ones to watch.
I thought it was Harvey Barnes, not Ashley Barnes, but anyway, Barnes. Huh?
It's Harvey Barnes. Ashley Barnes plays for what's it called? Burnley. Sorry.
Harvey Barnes.
Yeah, Harvey Barnes is a player I like. I like him above Maddison, to be fair.
Next time will be Cliff Barnes. Remember Cliff Barnes?
Now you're showing your age.
Now I'm talking about age.
Now you are talking.
Now I'm showing my age.
But no, Barnes is probably my favourite Leicester player.
That's a good shout.
And that's a good shout from David, by the way.
Yeah.
But the player I'm looking forward to is a response from Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, who had a shocker on Tuesday. And absolute, not least, I mean, that pass on the edge of their box, which looped up and went out of the field.
That was mental.
That was a Sunday Park player.
If I see that on a Sunday when I was coaching kids, I'd be like, what's going on? What? Professional football shouldn't be doing that. But again, it happens. Right, my ones to watch then. Let's see what I've got up here. We have here we go. I think it's got to be him. This guy now, for me, Heung-min Son, if you're listening, you can't see, has to have a good game. If he's playing, and I think he's going to start tomorrow, he's got to justify. You know, there's no undroppables. Conte said that, but he's not proving it. He said it. Son, for me, has got to do something. He's got to be in this game. Even if he doesn't come out of an assist or a goal, he's got to be so dangerous that they're going to say, yeah, Son. Yeah, I just don't know, though. He doesn't look... He doesn't even look 100% fit to me. I don't even know if he looks 100% fit. Jamie Vardy, I just don't like this guy. And he always seems to knock up and score goals against us. He's an irritating player. He will be exactly that tomorrow. If he starts, I can't see anything to say he's injured. So for me, Jamie Vardy.
He's been on the bench, though. He's been on the bench.
Yes, but even off the bench, this guy, you've seen him, he really does like to stretch defenses. And one thing about us, you know, just looking at what happened against Marcus Edwards with players running at us, didn't look too good, did we? So again, speed merchants, it might be the case.
I don't see Vardy as a running at us. He tends to run onto a through ball
Run behind. That's what I'm saying.
Run behind, yeah. But yeah.
And this is why I'm a little bit. Dyer isn't the player that I want to see turning back towards his goal, running back all the time. And if
Romero will deal with it.
Hopefully so. Let's take them off because that's tomorrow. You want to see this, don't you? This is what you missed last time. I forgot this is up here. Okay, prediction after round 6. Deji has only played 1 round, he's on 1 point. Darius has played 6 rounds, he's on 7 points. Then it's me. I was winning before the last result, the 2-1, where both you two got the right result and the goal score. Can't believe it. So Sid Sharp into joint second with me. And at the top, oh God, here we go. It's that man, Mr. Hurl.
I need the validation. I've had to endure this team for 50 plus years, man and boy, and now as old man. So yeah, this is I'll
let the viewers see that again. Sean's on top, 14, Sid's 11, Sam, that's my name. Darius 7 and Deji 1. I need to get some points this weekend. So this is where we go into it. Then we know what is next. Get the pen out. Who wants to go first?
We'll let the leader of the pack go first. Eh?
Oh, yeah. Let the champion go first.
The leader of the pack.
Come on in, champion. Let's go.
Right, so we will be on a fox hunt tomorrow, and we will win 4-1. And Kane will be at least 2. I expect Son to notch, and I think Kulu either from the bench or if he's playing.
Okay, 4-1. Kane 2, Son 1, Kulu 1. Sid?
Oh dear. You know what? This myth.
He's going Kuva. I can see it. Kuva.
He's getting 3K. He's getting 3K as well. Go on then.
I'm going 3K and Kuva. Honestly, I'm thinking that because
hold on. Darius is on board, man.
Yeah, we're talking Darius from last season. Last season's Darius would have been no. This season's all right.
What's niggling me, man, is they've not won a game. They've not won a game, and they've had woeful performances all season. And it's Dr. Tottenham, isn't it? This is my worry. It's Dr. Tottenham. We're just coming back from we're just coming back from that shitty performance on Tuesday.
The cold shoulder of Conte.
Yeah,
Spurs our boys on.
Honestly, I think I don't think we're going to score 4. I do not think we're going to score 4. I don't think we're going to.
Go on then.
I don't think we're going to score 3.
What are you telling me then?
Get it out.
Honestly, if you want to do a draw, say it. Just say it with your chest. That's what you got to do. Say it with chest.
I think we're going to sneak a 2-1 win. I think we're going to sneak a 2-1 win with Kane and Richarlison. Actually, no. Hold on. The question is Kulu, isn't it? Is Kulu going to start? But yeah, Kane and Richarlison.
So Sid's gone 2-1. Kane, Richarlison. I'm going
my hedge bet is Perisic actually to score. I think it's about time he chipped in.
I'm going 3-1. I just always think that we're likely to concede a goal, even if it's from a set piece or something like that. We're just looking like we're always. I know we've kept a couple of clean sheets already this season, but it's not like we've been in control of games. Teams have had opportunities against us, and possibly better teams may have scored more against us. Maybe the City game was a bit of a blessing in disguise that we missed that based on the performance against Sporting. But I'm going 3-1, and I'm going with a Son double. So that's what I'm saying. He's got to do something for me tomorrow. He's got to do something. And you know what? I might even throw a cheeky bet on this. I'm going with Emerson to pop up in the box with something because I think he's playing again.
Piece of grass on his shoe.
with his laces done up.
Yeah. You know what?
Listen, Conte's seen something in him. I don't know what he's seen in him. Obviously, because I'm watching the same games Conte's watching, but I don't see him in training. I just hope tomorrow, from the stands, I want to see him attack more. He's attacked, and he's put some decent crosses in, but it's not regular enough that the players are thinking that the players are going to be there.
This is my issue because Spurs players don't expect a cross from Emerson. When he does get one in, and he has got in one decent one in the last 2 games, there's nobody there. And I'll tell you something, this is the problem with Kane playing deep. He's not quick enough to make up the ground to be in the box where Conte wants him.
But Conte must be obviously tactically, because Conte is very much about patterns of play, tactics. He wants to drill into players certain patterns that they don't have to think about. It's almost instinctive, and I can see that in their patterns. But what I'm saying is, if you've got that rigid a pattern of play or patterns of play, and teams watch you, they know how to. And I think teams have actually done that against us. We've been good enough in our offensive areas with the players that we've got to get ourselves to score goals. But all it takes is a team to keep us to 0-0, as what they did against us Sporting. And then we've seen what's happened. So what are you laughing at now? What's going on now?
Good first comment about Emerson's.
That one. I put that one up for me.
Yeah, of course, Cooper. What's going to happen? He's going to take a shot. It's going wide, and it hits the Leicester defender and goes in, and he won't get the credit.
I'm jumping off Emerson's head for a little while, because from what I've heard of our manager, I'm not saying Conte's a madman, so he can't be a madman. So therefore, he's thinking that this guy's better than Spence, better than Doherty at this moment in time. We have to go with it until such time that we have to say, hold on a minute, what's going on? So we shall see. Another comment here. David, in Leicester press conference, the Leicester coach said they are going to be brave going forward, so there will be a high press. Nah, they ain't going to do that. I think that's mind games again. He's if they do a high press on us, that means there's grass behind their defence. Their defence is not good enough. And their defence is not good enough to contain Kulusevski or Son or Richarlison.
Stop the Tottenham.
Sid, final thoughts?
You know what? Everyone know how shit we were on Tuesday. Conte knew how shit we were. I think the players sort of knew, or if they didn't, they was told after the. Well, actually, they weren't told after the game, because Conte didn't go in the dressing room, did he? He done the silent treatment on him, and then the next morning at 11 o'clock, he probably drilled them and done whatever. So I think they've been drilled. I think they've been warned. They've been told, and I can see tomorrow them coming out and hopefully taking the game to Leicester. But I've not seen us do that yet all season, apart from Fulham game. So let's see if his talk has worked wonders, and if we can put on a top performance tomorrow in front of the fans that are going to be there or not going to be there tomorrow.
Cooper's out scratching eyes out today. Meow. Leicester will be brave going forward with a new manager on Monday. See, he's not happy. So
hold on a second. Why would they have a new manager if they've drawn 1-1, Cooper? You can't have that. You can't have that. You've said that they're going to get a point of us.
I think it was a bit tongue-in-cheek. I hope it was, Cooper, anyway, because we can't be drawing with them tomorrow. We'll be the laughing stock. Leicester, the bottom of the league, pretty much just been bashed about by teams away from home. You know, they've conceded 4 in the last. Come on, lads. Even Dr. Tottenham can't see them now. Surely not. Having played that one.
Dr. Tottenham only turns up once a week. That was Tuesday night.
You reckon?
Thank you, Sean. David Clark, having played out wide for most of my career, the object when crossing the ball is to look up so you know who you're passing to. That would help. One man was being diplomatic. Dr. Tottenham in the house. Gentlemen.
Cooper just does that because it makes him more happy when we win. I don't believe him. For a second.
I'm not sure. But like I said,
I know him too well.
I hope it's going to be a win, regardless. I say without necessarily having to play well, but I think, you know, the more it goes on, the more we're not playing great football and picking up results, the more it's going to get a bit nervy towards the latter part of the season, if that's the case. But I think we're going to change our performances. I do think we're going to have a solid performance tomorrow. I'm hoping that these guys go out and do what they need to do. Last comment here. I'll always complain when we play shitty football. Agree, 100%. Right.
Agree. We just get
you
the
know
free.
Do you know what? 38 1-0 wins you the league with a record goal difference.
It does.
So, Coover, get used to it, mate. We ain't going to play really, really good. We're going to get points, though.
If we get points,
we're gonna have a go at Pochettino's record.
Well, let's see. I hope you're both all right. Yeah.
Love you, mate.
Be at the game tomorrow, so gonna be getting myself all prepared, do my hair and everything. I mean, got to do that because you can't go to the ground with a bad hairstyle, so that's not for me tomorrow. It'll all be nice.
Make sure you got your singing voice ready, and make sure you're wearing black tomorrow because you're going to be singing as well. Don't forget.
What am I singing?
The national anthem.
Yes. Let's say to the viewers, thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Go across to Twitter and look for all of us on Twitter. You'll find us there. Sid Spurs, Sean Hurl, and Sam. Do you want to tell viewers where they find you on Twitter? Sid, what's your handle? Is it just Sid Spurs?
Sid Spurs, Sid_Spurs. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me TikToking as well with everything that's going on with Paxton Road and making up some videos, so I'll be around. Karaoke's on a Tuesday night. Concerts coming soon. Album coming soon.
Oh, hold on. Have you not got something planned for us on Sunday?
Who?
Sid.
Yes, we have.
Oh, yes.
We have on Sunday a Sid Says Breaking special where I'm going to shock the viewers and
what's Danny on our case for?
Because he's just joined in and watching the show. He's joined too late. Sorry, Sid, go on. Finish your point.
Everyone's going to love me for a reason and let that reason be. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but make sure you're tuned because it's either going to go left or it's going to go right. I'm going to get hammered or people are going to agree with me. But I have this theory in my head and it's coming to fruition and it's day by day. It's look likely it's going to happen. So listen, watch.
It's going to happen. Absolutely. Happens all the time.
Sidradamus. That's his new name, Sidradamus. He's going to be prophesizing what's happening. Danny,
what happened, mate?
What's happened, mate? I tell you what, I hope you don't mind me telling people, Dan, this guy is the best IT man in the house. Anything you want to get yourself a computer, see Danny Kiriakou. He's the main man. Sorted me out nice and neatly. But he missed the show, so you'd have to go back and watch it. Kuva, they hate you, Danny.
Danny, what's your prediction? Because I've seen, do you know what? I follow Danny on Twitter, and Danny's coming up with some madness on Twitter.
Danny's wild on Twitter.
That's what I mean.
Man.
What's your prediction, Danny? Come on, before we go.
Come on, Danny. Put it up there. We're not going to wait all day.
Where are you, Danny?
We've been on 43 minutes now.
I know.
Oh, come on. This is not, technology's not that slow. Well, you're the IT man as well. Anyway, you might have gone. You might not be watching. You might have gone back to the start of the show. We never know. You might be doing that right this moment. So
he's waiting for. Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go. He's here. I love you guys. I'll watch it. Going from work. 3-1 to the Spurs. Thank you, Danny. Positive Spurs fan that Danny is. Unless we lose and he's going to give them both barrels, I can't wait for that. If that happens,
he'll be bringing a Gatling gun.
There'll be murder. There'll be murder on the high road. That's about it, gentlemen. I think we've done our bit. Let's enjoy the game tomorrow. Sean, you're on the review show with the Slayer tomorrow.
Yeah, with the Arsenal Slayer and I believe someone else.
Yeah, if I can get on by my phone, but I've got a rush to get back on the train tomorrow, so I don't even know if I'm going to be able to.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to do it, and it's just making too much noise because you know what people are like bloody on queuing up at White Hart Lane.
These Tottenham fans, aren't they?
These Tottenham fans, God, they don't know when to keep quiet.
But you should be staying behind and sampling the facilities that Mr. Levy has left you.
I would have done that, but I'm not trained. That's all I've got. I've got a proper blitz. That's what I've got to do. Anyway, Danny's laughing here. Big up to the lads. Kuva, go back to supporting Arsenal. You're so negative. Oh, they're having their own personal battle. Let's get out of here before it goes.
Handbags.
Right, then where's the out button? Here we go. That's it. Thank you very much.
Spurs.
Thank you very much, Sid. Come on, you Spurs. Make sure you join the reaction show. Will be 7:40 tomorrow. And then the big reveal from Sidradamus. He's going to be revealing prophecy. Whatever it is, I can't wait. That's it. Out we go.